Record button. Got it. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I entered the old chat because I forgot to close it out. So that was interesting that it let me even go back into that chat and start recording for a minute. But let me get my notes up so we can go back to where we left off. Okay. All right. So we talked about the last part being about surrender and release, dropping that heavy burden of trying to manifest and um, your deepest subconscious desire right now is to stop performing happiness and simply find permission to exist exactly where you're at. So I think that taking in, I think that taking in the idea that your frustration over this is validated is a good place to start. Um, your quiz has shown me that you are completely exhausted from trying to force, life to look a certain way. But have you asked yourself, like, what do you want life to look like? And I feel that like you aren't really falling into like a manifestation trap as much as, and I also don't feel like you're failing to manifest. All right. You are manifesting good things for yourself. Um, I just feel like you're trying to build a house on top of frozen grief, and identifying those particular limiting beliefs and circumstances today is going to help you like turn off the pressure and to perform and turn on actually performing for yourself, performing the actions that feel good, that feel right, and and taking the accountability to self-validate that you don't have to perform for anyone but yourself, because your happiness is so much more important than everybody else's. You have to understand that. I know that sounds very selfish, but if your happiness isn't grounded, other people can't be happy around you. So I'm not really sure what you've been through as a person growing up or a child, but I know how frustrating it can be to have a Greek family. I can't imagine how much more frustrating it could be growing up where you grew up, growing up in what you grew up in, and then having that energy force you to feel like you have the pressure to perform all the time to be perfect and the best.
Mhm.
You don't have to be the best. Do you notice that everyone in the world is like, got to have the best hair, got to have the best looks, got to have the best makeup, got to be the best tarot reader, got to be the best this, the best. Why can't we just have what's good, Why can't,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, I know we're always looking out for the best, but what about what's the best for us? Just because people think that using a rice cooker is the best doesn't mean it is or it's not. Like we went back to that nothing has a meaning until you have a meaning kind of thing. Now the age 29 timeline at grief and your midday void. Your objective here is to figure out the conscious root cause analysis, like to and analyze here logically, um, identifying like the underlining beliefs that are causing that midday spin. You know, is it being alone after 2 p.m. or being alone after you go home? It's almost time to go home and I'm going to be alone. Like, are you feeling like you're going to be left behind? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is where using your consciousness, your mind, your thoughts and feelings to command in a commanding language, in a commanding way, like the way you would tell somebody to step off. Like, how you said you told your friend off, kind of?
Yeah, and I feel really bad about it, but also I feel like she needs to know what's happening.
Well, yeah. I mean, I told Molly last night, she's like, I don't know which guy to pick. I'm like, just pick the one that makes you the happiest. I'm like, but you can have both. I'm like, but if you pick Tom, we can't be friends anymore. It didn't even phase her. But I know things aren't going to work out with her and Tom anyways, because he's already disturbed her so much, sex isn't going to be enough pretty soon. But um, there's a way to also command yourself in a way like the way you told that girl off. You have to you have to get angry at the thought, not yourself. You have to get angry at the you have to interrupt it. Like you remember what I said yesterday when we were just chatting about how when you start to get that way, you start to feel that way, it's time to merge yourself into something fun and different. So I started talking about art and Second Life and the things that I found that helped me, even if it's just like reading a book. But I'm not sure what it is, if there is anything. Is there anything other than dancing? Is there anything other than, I mean, that's one reason I also invited you to the acting work group because I thought, wow, I wonder if reading with us on Wednesday nights or Tuesday nights would give her something to look forward to during the week with people who will accept her for being her. Like that's why I threw that out there because I thought, I wonder if that would help her not feel so alone, and have something fun to look forward to at home, midweek. Because I know you probably have that midweek spiral too, because it's the weekend's coming up again. You want to do something fun, you want to have a good time, you want to take your mind off things.
I mean, usually in my weekdays, I'm either working or I'm going to dance class.
Well, I mean, weekends. I'm talking about like weekend, like, you're having the midday crash because you're feeling left behind or the loneliness is going to come on coming home being by yourself. But then your
Mhm.
weekend comes and you want to find something good to do because you're not busy working. It's time to rest, relax, and have a good time unless you do bring work home. Do you bring work home?
Sometimes there is too much to do, and I'm like not the only one working, but yeah, sometimes I have to work. Like I will really be working with other people in my team, getting
Mm,
something done.
life. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to study. I have exams. I have to study for those exams. They're an important part of my job.
Mm,
Um, and sometimes I just go out with friends, which I could do when my knee wasn't hurt, but now my knee's hurt, so I can't even go out.
yeah. So what are you doing on what are your dance classes on Wednesday?
I have dance classes every day,
Every day. Okay. So do you go every day?
pretty much.
Okay. All right. All right. But remember
Yeah.
that thing is there for you to just have like a creative outlet and just have fun. And you know what? It might even help you. The reading group might even help you to practice not having to perform at your best and just be yourself. You don't have to be, nobody in the group is a professional actress except for me. And what I mean by professional actress is I really did study the art of acting while growing up. I did tons of musical theater growing up. I did tons of television and commercials. And I realized at the end of the day, I don't want to be in that pedophile circle of idiots because I got sexually assaulted verbally and physically in so many strange ways. I was like, I'm just going to stick with mom and music, and I didn't want to be an actress anymore. But that didn't mean that I didn't love it. It didn't mean I didn't want. And the difference between like the performing thing that we just talked about and acting is that acting is really the truth. Whereas this performing thing that we feel forced to do because of social media, because of statistics, because of social norms, um, we as women especially are constantly pressured to perform, 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 and be the best all the time. And if you're not the best, you're not going to get picked first by a guy. And we're not only raised like, well, my mother didn't raise me that way. I'm a definite feminist. Unfortunately, I'm back to being a cheese eating feminist. But we're raised kind of like, when you're in school and you got 10 kids and there's somebody who gets picked as the team leader and they pick you last,
Yeah.
that feeling. I hate that feeling. And I know you're feeling it too because we've been through talking a lot about a lot of guys. So now, as far as the tarot cards, it's very important for you to strictly as an awake psychological mirror to bypass, your intellectual defenses when it comes to tarot because tarot is a guidance. So like when we do
Mhm.
tarot, I'm giving you like the basic guidance that your most trusted and strongest spirit guides are giving you. And it's really not meant to be taken literal or personal, but it's meant to guide you with what you need to know about right now. And I think that what's happened is after so many years of different tarot card readers, um, you know, you might be missing the message sometimes and then asking the same questions and then getting some of the same answers because, you know, the cards are more like a wake up call than a bypass for your intellectual defenses to go off. Um, and as far as manifesting mechanics, now the objective in this, my notes I put down, we need to reframe manifestation from an exhausting chore, okay, to something that is more of a natural state of being, like I suggested earlier. Now, the note that I made here was to teach you manifestation, how manifestation responds to authentic internal alignment. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. And not forced positivity, because a lot of these channels fuck you up, pardon my French, in making you think you have to force positivity. And let me tell you what, girl, it ain't gonna work. What does work is having a sense of humor, keeping that sense of humor about things, and figuring out what it is that does feel right so that you are manifesting from a truly natural state. Because see, you're literally, and I've said this 1,000 times, you're literally involuntarily manifesting the way that you breathe. You can't just stop breathing. The way you're taking in your breath now, the way your heart's pumping, that's all involuntarily. And you're literally manifesting involuntarily that way. And people don't really realize that. And back to the science of it, the observer effect. What you observe, it has no choice but to show up. I really like the law of assumption because it really sticks to the point with that observer effect. Whereas law of attraction, it just seems so fake. Like I might sound cruel and mean and terrible saying that, but law of attraction feels like a real pretty theory that someone made up to sell you a book called The Secret. And trust me, when I first saw the Secret movie, I was like, wow, ooh, ah, but I wanted more because when I did Law of Attraction, instead of getting the record deal and making the record that I wanted with Jack White, I got scrambled eggs instead. Yeah, I'm a third man record recording service artist, but they probably don't care about my music or me right now, all these years later. All right. And I manifested what I wanted. Yeah, I'm a third man record recording service artist. That's You can't just walk into Third Man Records and get that. They hand pick you as an artist. They hand pick you and decide. And I had to be so, and I'm still grateful for it and thankful for it. But once again, it's like you go to the stove to make sunny side up eggs and you get scrambled instead. And that's what I don't like about law of attraction. And it tells you have to let go. You don't have to let go of what you want, but what you do have to let go of is all that garbage that's not serving you. And that can be very difficult because it's programmed in us. We're only born with two fears. That's loud noises and being dropped. Literally everything else we're programmed. Everything else. And the notes I wrote here were to reframe manifestation from an exhausting chore to a natural state of being. Have you ever tried a day of just not trying to manifest or think about it?
I try to, it just doesn't. Because every time I try to like tell myself like just let it be, just like do whatever you're doing, that visual of him pops up, and then I'm like physically like I'm like clenching on to every muscle in my chest because I'm like, oh God, I thought about it again.
Wow. So it's almost as if, yeah, it's like almost as if you've become obsessed with doing it correctly.
It's
Whereas,
like OCD.
yeah, yeah, my best friend Nikki is OCD. Um, yeah, it is like OCD. You're right. And I think that detaching from it is going to help because you're already involuntary. involuntarily breathe, manifesting the way that you breathe, and then this is how you do it. This is going to sound a little crazy. I'm just going to put down the notes real quick and open up the screen.
Okay.
Um, when you have a thought and it creates a feeling, all right? Good night, Daddy. Love you. Um, your actions and your reactions to it, okay, is what you end up manifesting. So, what you're actually manifesting is you're doing a great job manifesting this guy coming back to you and saying the things to you that you want him to say. Hey, I'd love to come to you, meet you halfway, blah, 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 blah. Even if he's having the foot problem, okay? So, what if he got re injured? You guys will get there if that's something you guys really want. But,
Yeah.
but when it comes to what you're really manifesting is the spiraling out again and again. It's kind of like a death loop. Sometimes when I get like this, I have to have somebody pinch me to make sure I'm not I'm not in some other reality, or that I'm not dead. And what's happening is, so you start to think about him with the other girl, and then you have a reaction to that feeling, and your reaction is internal. And then you turn around and you have a reaction emotionally to it. Maybe you eat something. Do you eat something? What do you do? Do you smoke a cigarette? Do you have a drink? What?
I don't smoke or drink that much. I don't smoke ever, but I also don't drink
Uh,
that much. So I don't
okay.
have those issues.
I mean, I
I think
vape,
my
but
huh?
I vape, but it's just mostly CBD. Sometimes I'll have a cigarette, but mostly I just vape CBD because of my anxiety. And I don't like psychoactive stuff either. I mean, every once in a while I'll have a drink. You see me having a glass of wine on the live, and that's about it. And that's only like twice a week, maybe on Friday and Saturday, because I trying to take care of my body. Um, but do you see what I'm saying about how you'll start to have that bad thought about him, of him having another partner or seeing another girl? And then what happens is your action and reaction to it. Your actions, what's the first thing you do? What's the first action you take after you've had that reaction? Can you recall?
I mean, I just start to feel really anxious in my chest.
And it gets tight.
It gets tight. There's like a very strong sense of fear as if I'm about to fall from like the top floor of a building.
Oh my gosh, I've had this. I went through this at your age. I went through this, and I ended up having to take some holistic medications for it, but then I eventually got on Xanax for it so that when that happened, I could pop 0.25 and go on about my day and get over it, because everything was making me react like that. My mom was dying, my mom was sick, my grandmother was dying, she was sick, we were living in a fucking dump, and I had to call the police 374 times in just 2 years. I mean, yeah, and I I I was going through this. So I would start thinking about the guy I liked, and I would spiral out, and this would happen. Or I'd start thinking about something I really wanted and thinking I couldn't have it, and this would happen. So is there anything else that I need to know about that you're having a thought about and spiraling out like this?
I mean, um, I don't know what else to say because like a very complex thread of thoughts and feelings. It's like I mean, I think part of it is stemming from the fact that I feel the need to think positively about him, otherwise it won't manifest. And that's when my OCD creeps in. It's like, oh, you want to think about it? Here's this negative thought, fix it first. Um, but the second I have the thought, there's like this tightening of the chest and everything, and it's like so stressful
Is it
that
only about him though? Does it only
yeah,
happen with this guy?
yeah,
Has it ever happened with other guys?
yeah.
It happens with every guy?
I mean, I don't have that many guys, but yeah, that's what happened with the previous
Do you have
one.
any guy friends? Just guy friends? Like, you know how Meryl's
I
my gay boyfriend, and then like my best friend lives in the back room and we grew up together, that kind of thing.
I had guy friends. I don't anymore. I'm having a very difficult time with friendships in my life in general. Like
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
I definitely have some PTSD there.
Because those people are obviously making you feel like you got to perform to be liked, and that's not the truth.
I don't know. I just feel like
They
I've
make you
had the
feel like you
worst.
gotta, do they make you feel like you gotta perform or be something other than just who you are on the camera right now in your glasses, no makeup, and your hair
I
braided?
don't think they care about my makeup and hair, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I've had so many different situations with different people I thought were my friends. Like this person also that I told off yesterday. Like I thought we were best friends, and I don't think she hates me or has any ill intentions, but she's always so wrapped up in her own world.
Oh my God, it's me
And
and
it just,
Molly. It's me and
yeah, and I mean, it's not like she doesn't have real problems. She definitely does. She has some really terrible problems on
But
her
all she
hands.
does is talk about herself and her problems. And
She doesn't even do that. She would just retreat and she would talk, like, she would let other people in,
uh,
but not me. And I'm like, you tell me I'm important to you, but I'm somehow not allowed to be a part of your problems or help you through them. And when I try to reach for connection, you tell me you're going to be there, but you're never there. You tell me you want to meet me, hang out with me, but you make plans with other people, hang out with them for days,
oh, it
and
just
then you
sounds like
tell
me
me
and
like
my
you're really,
ex.
yeah, I'm like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. I don't feel good anymore. And saying this is also making me feel shitty, by the way. So I don't know. I just feel like a very shitty person now because
See,
this
and
guy
that's
is
not
not
good.
texting.
That's not good. That's not what friends are for.
How come I don't have a single friend then?
You got me. I'm here for you. And you know what? I have to tell you something. After many, many years of my mother and father teaching me how to be a good friend, I have just learned some people are just not good at being friends, honey. And that's not your fault. You
How has
obviously
every
know.
person in my life
You
been a good
obviously
friend?
know what being a good friend is. Obviously, are your parents still married like mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my parents are very good friends. Are your parents very good friends? Are they good? Are they
Hmm.
friends? Yeah. See, you know, they've taught you what a good friend is. So we're very
Yeah.
much alike that in the same way. All right. Even though my mother is dead, my dad's happy to be married to his girlfriend wife as a ghost too. And he's never seen anybody else or dated anyone else or wanted to get remarried because that's his best friend. It still is. And I have learned how to be a good friend through them. And you have obviously learned how to be a good friend through your parents. And what's happening, honey, is you're meeting people who are so narcissistic and self-absorbed, like most people today. Okay. Um, that they don't know how to be friends and they probably never really had a real friend in their whole life. And I want you to observe people's social media. Are there a lot of provocative photos? Or are there just a lot of repeat photos of their face and makeup and hair always looking like they're trying to sell something? Is it a lot of them just talking about themselves, or are they talking about family? Are they talking about other friends? Are they talking about their dogs? Are they talking about their interests instead of just me? And you want to turn your back away from the me's because they are not going to serve you. There's my grandfather taught me something. He said there's only three kind of people on the planet. Okay, there's the every other day people, like the people you work with, the person you pay your rent to, the person you get your groceries from. You know, maybe you see each other in a reoccurring way and you're polite and you say hi, but they don't really make a difference in your everyday personal life. Okay. Then you've got the people who are poison people, and you've got the people who are not poison people. So that those people who are not poison, some of us, we can't even count one on our hand, not one. But the poison people, these are the people who do not serve you. These are the people that make you feel like what that person you thought was your best friend. Look at what somebody I thought was my best friend for 20 years growing up killed my mom. I kept having to ask Micah, my best friend in the back room, did she really do, Dad, did she really do this? And they were like, yes, honey. You just have to understand she really did this and you're going to have to get over it. Okay, you're going
Hmm.
to have to accept it. And I did that for years. Finally, she got out of jail and tried to leave sympathy pizza and Lysol on my table during COVID. Well, don't you know I called the police and got another restraining order? All right,
Yeah.
because these poison people, only three types of people: the people that nurture you, your mother, your father. Okay, I'm here to help nurture you. You nurture me too. All right, this is not just a one-way street. I feel nurtured by you. And
Hmm.
the more that you emerge, I don't know how much of a spiritual person you are, but religion is very different from spirituality. Is manifesting spirituality? I think a lot of people mistake it for that, but it's really just science. If you want to call the
Yeah.
sun spiritual, sure, yeah. I mean, we could call it something spiritual, but you have to understand there's really only three kinds of people: the people that nurture you, the every other day people, and the poison people. So this guy, which one is he to you?
But he hasn't done anything. It's just my
Doesn't matter.
fears.
It doesn't matter if he hasn't done anything or he has done something. At the end of the day, when you really think about it, is what you have nurturing, and that's okay. And if it feels a little poison, you can switch that channel too. If it just feels like, well, this is an every other day kind of person, and when they do show up, great, I'm glad to say hey, or are you just not sure
No, I mean, maybe I'm not entirely sure yet, but when I was seeing him, he felt very nurturing to me.
yet? Good. Okay.
Like
Good.
he took care of me when I was sick. He took me to the ER and everything.
Yes.
He spent the entire night with me there. Even when his foot was injured, he was
God,
healing
he's so
from it.
sweet.
He said, Maybe I can come to you." I'm like, "I'm concerned about your foot. Please let yourself heal first." And then, but like the part that confuses me is like, why is he going so hot and cold on me? And
Because, honey, once again, you're observing it. You are observing, why is he going so hot and cold to me? Then you're going hot and cold on yourself. And then you're acting and reacting out to it, which is fine, because what happens when you do that in the beginning of getting on a strict mental diet is recognizing. Remember, we talked about limiting beliefs and circumstances earlier? One of your limiting beliefs, you just said it when you were talking about your friend, was not being good enough or something like that. Or what was it that you said at the end? It was like, why
I
am
just
I
don't have good luck in
what?
friendships.
Yeah, there you go. That's a limiting belief in circumstance. Let's write it down. Okay. What did you say? I just don't have luck in finding friends.
Hmm.
I just don't have luck in finding friends. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's one limiting belief in circumstance. And we're going to work against this. Okay. I'm going to tell you how to work against this. And you might not feel the change today or tomorrow, but trust me, you will be able to start pinpointing what they are and what you need to work through and what triggers you. It might be a lot, it might be a little. And then the great thing is that you might be able to go to your therapist and be like, well, I talked to my friend Stormie and we went through my limiting beliefs and circumstances. What do you think about this, this, and that? And how can we, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't think that anyone ever talked to you about your limiting beliefs or circumstances, or have you ever been able to figure out how to catch them?
No.
Okay,
That's
well,
the other part of my anxiety. I just don't know what my core beliefs are. Like,
that's fine.
what the fuck is even manifesting
That's fine. You're
from
going to figure
me?
it out. What the fuck is manifesting? It's science. That's it.
No, like what beliefs of mine are manifesting, you know?
Okay, so what beliefs of yours are manifesting? Well, that one right there is one of them. Those limiting beliefs and circumstances is what's manifesting. Now, what you just said about him feeling nurturing, that's also manifesting. Yeah. And that's why he keeps coming back. That's why he keeps communicating.
Well,
That's why he
it's
keeps you on tabs.
he's not reaching out like on his own as much as I'm reaching out to
That's okay.
him.
That's all right. Uh-oh, we
But
only
he
got 10
responds, which I'm glad he does, because like him not responding would make me spiral even more. But it's just I don't know why my mind wants me to believe the visual so badly. Like it's like I'm living in that visual and I'm actively trying to jump out of it, but every time I jump, I still land back in that
So,
visual.
and
And
you're
I'm
not
just,
able to stop, you're not able to visualize anything, but him telling you, I'm seeing someone else.
no matter how hard I try to like bring back a memory that actually happened,
Mhm.
and it somehow turns into that visual.
And
It's
we
like it's
gotta break,
overriding
we've got to
my
break that
memory.
cycle. We've got to break that cycle because that's letting go of something you definitely need to be letting go of. Because look how many times you've had it and it hasn't happened. It's just
That's
an
what I tell
intrusive
myself.
thought.
I'm like, it's just anxiety, but it needs to stop because it's consuming me. It's like keeping me from being able to live my own life.
Would it feel bad? Would it feel difficult for you to just step away for a week or two from even messaging him or thinking about him or just trying? What does that feel like to you?
That feels like I'm giving up, and that feels like the visual itself would manifest because I haven't done anything about it, and
But
makes
that's
me
the
feel like
thing is
I'm.
that manifesting, you don't have to do anything because once again, you're involuntarily manifesting the way that you breathe. And what you're telling me about this visual is just another limiting belief and circumstance that if you don't, let me write it down, that if you don't, that if you don't talk to him and keep up the convo, that you're not, what'd you say? Manifesting him? Oh, you've given up. That's right. That you're feeling like you've given up.
Yeah, and it will die. Like basically, I'm saying I'm not expecting him to put effort.
Okay, there's another one. And that's completely untrue. I want to tell you that right now. It's completely false. You're lying to yourself. All right. Now, here's the thing about men. We only have a few minutes and before I have to remake it. And then I'll have to save it and then remake it again. But within regards to this limiting belief in circumstance, it's just not true. Have you ever stepped away for just one weekend?
I stepped away this weekend. I did not reach back out to him. I messaged him on Thursday night when he responded with a twinning joke, and then I messaged again with another joke, but he never responded to that. And so I'm like, now I genuinely don't have energy to give, you know,
That's okay.
because
Good,
I'm having PMS, I'm injured, I'm feeling low, like I can't give from the state.
good. And that's okay because
Yeah.
once you refocus back on you, he will refocus back on you too. When was the last time that he just freely sent you a text message without you
So that,
messaging? When was the last time he sent you a message without you prompting talk?
I don't actually remember. Like we had a good conversation for a couple of days, like we were both engaged.
Uh-huh.
And then it just fell off of on Tuesday. And then I just reached back out on Thursday after my appointment. And then
Do you
I
miss
was like, you
him?
know what? I do.
Have you told him?
I want to, but I don't know how he'll respond. Like he doesn't strike me as someone who's really into emotions.
Seems like you want somebody who's really into their emotions, but not all men are. And the way that they show you their emotions is through action or through words. Like when he said that thing about your nails and your shoe and the way you were dressed, like that was him really showing you or telling you he liked you. Then him saying the twinning thing or even responding is him showing you. But I think he's doing all that he can. But I also kind of want you to immerse yourself in the idea that a text message doesn't have a meaning until you give it a meaning. So the meaning that I feel you're giving to it is the same meaning that many other women give to it. Like it means that he wants to spend the rest of your life with you, or that he wants to be your boyfriend, or that he wants to have anything other than just a nice conversation and be friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But what's happening is I think that many women get confused that just because a guy says hi doesn't mean that he likes you. Just because he laughs at your jokes doesn't mean he wants to spend the rest of his life with you. But what it does mean is that he wants access. He wants something that is there right in front of him. that seems
Hmm.
logical to immerse himself in at that time because men are very different. They should be considered different species. Now, let me stop this recording, save it, and make the next one, and I'll send it to you. How much more time do you have?
I mean, it's almost 11.
Okay, so you got about another 30 minutes.
Is sure.
Okay. All right. Let me see how much more I have to go through this real quick. Um, yeah, we're almost done with this. And then I can send you work on getting these uploaded to YouTube unlisted and send you the email with all your homework. And, and if you have any other questions about this later or when you go over it, feel free to ask anytime. Um, but yeah, let me stop it so I can get the recording done and